Hi, I'm Carla C. Welcome to my sewing room. I make clothes for dollies and I love ruffles. And today we are going to be making the stripwork dress, and I'm going to be using a gadget called a ruffler attachment that allows me to make ruffles galore.
This is a fairly standard ruffler attachment. There are a couple features I want to point out. This is the pleat depth adjustment. There's a little screw that as you dial it up, you get deeper pleats. Now for gathering, you want nice, tiny pleats. And so I usually have it set relatively low. Then for pleats, for deep pleats, you can turn it all the way up. I also want to point out the spacing lever. And what this does is it tells the ruffler whether to pleat with every stitch, every 6 stitches, or every 12 stitches. For gatherings, I keep it set at 1 so that it makes that nice small pleat with every stitch. For pleating, I usually have it at 6 so that it will make a pleat, stitch away from that pleat 6 stitches, and make another pleat, and so on. And for pleats that are spaced even further apart, you can set it to 12. There's also this little star setting, and what this does is it has the ruffler not pleat at all, so you're just stitching. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my machine. This is a low shank foot that screws onto the machine, and if you notice, I'm putting the fork arm onto the needle clamp while I'm putting the foot onto the machine. And this is a screw-on attachment, so I just put my screw in. And since this attachment gets jostled around quite a bit, I'm going to go ahead and use a screwdriver to really tighten that in. Okay, I already had my machine threaded. It's really not so easy to thread the machines with this big bulky attachment on there. Just put the thread through, and I am ready to ruffle.
Okay, I've gone ahead and assembled the pieces of my dress, and this is the bodice, and I just love this bodice style because the front, the back, the straps are all in one piece. It's so easy to make, and it has this adorable ruffle accent for the neckline. You are stripwork here with the beautiful alternating very fall fabrics. We have a ruffle attachment strip that is the same length as the stripwork here. And then we have 2 long ruffle strips, which are going to go from strips to nice, full, beautiful ruffles. And our ruffler attachment is going to do this for us in no time. So here's our double thickness ruffle strip. I've run a row of basting a 1/4 inch away from the raw edges, and this will keep the 2 layers together during ruffling. Now I'm going to go ahead and insert the fabric through this little finger-like projection in the back. This is the fabric guide, and what this does is it holds the fabric in place during ruffling, and you get a really even, nice seam allowance. And so once that's through the guide, you push it up about to the end of the blades, and you'll feel a little resistance. It doesn't slide right in. So just using a combination of pushing and pulling, kind of work that fabric down underneath the blades and out of the ruffler. And here's a little bit better angle for seeing the ruffler in action. See that little foot move back, and click, click, click. We're getting some nice little gathers. Just basically feeding it through. And you want to keep your speed nice and even, gentle. If you have a setting on your machine that allows you to vary your speed, I recommend turning it down, because the tendency is once you're really going just to be a speed demon and ruffle like crazy. And then when I come close to the end, I leave a little bit of it unruffled, lift up the pressure foot, and just pull it straight out. 1 full, beautiful ruffle down, 1 more to go. I just love watching the ruffles spill out of the sewing machine.
I'm going to use a zigzag stitch to set my ruffle in place. I like to do this because it keeps the edges nice and together for when I straight stitch. And I don't have to worry about having something with lines. And plus, I would have to edge finish at the end anyway, so I'm actually killing two birds with one stone here. With the ruffle set in place, I've added my attachment strip, and I'm going to go ahead and set that in place with some zigzag stitching too. Again, it just keeps the edges together and finishes them off at the same time. I'm straight stitching a 1/4 inch from the edge through all the thicknesses.
And I have my top ruffle added. Now I just need to add the bottom one. My skirt is finished. Now all I need to do is gather it and attach it to my bodice. This would make a really cute window treatment.
And of course, I am using the ruffler to gather the skirt.
And I'm attaching the skirt to the bodice and top stitch. And we have a dress. I'm digging through my vintage button box looking for the perfect pair of buttons. It's not hard to find beautiful buttons in here, but it sure is hard to find a pair that match. After much searching, I found a pair of vintage mother of pearl buttons that I love. They're perfect for this romantic fabric. I'm sewing those into place, and then our dress will be finished. And here's Dolly, all dressed up in her new outfit. I've paired the stripwork dress with a peasant dress, and patterns to make these dresses for dolls and girls are now available on youcanmakethis.com. She looks all ready to go walk in the leaves and have some fall fun.
For more information about buying, optimizing, and using a ruffler attachment, please check out my free ebook, The Ruffler Unlocked.